We entered the trade at 367 right there, and we got out of it at 227. Okay, so that's a 140-point move right there. I don't know about you guys, but that to me is the definition of a whale. All right, guys. Now, if you add it all together between the first trade and the second trade, the total came out to 294 points. 2 trades, and that's just the AM session alone. All right, guys. My name is Chris, and I am the Algo Man here on TikTok as well as over on our YouTube channel. And in today's recap of the NASDAQ 100 futures, we're actually going whale hunting again. That's right, we're bringing Moby back. We showcased the whale hunting system yesterday, and my inbox immediately lit up. You guys wanted more. You wanted another walkthrough. So that's exactly what we're doing today. Now, let's be clear. Moby, the core indicator inside the whale hunter system, is going to be released in 5 days. This coming Tuesday, December 23rd. It'll be part of the full bundle. If you're already subscribed, you're good. Or available as a standalone product for those who just want to hunt whales. Here's what Moby is designed to do, guys. And Moby is this indicator here with the blue and yellow line. It's not a scalper. Okay, let me just make that clear. It's not a rapid fire click machine. This is for 1 or 2 high quality moves in the day. The kind of trades that can make your whole week if properly executed. And that's what we're about to showcase. We're not clipping every uptick. We're not forcing trades. We're waiting for the move, and then we strike. This is about structure. This is about patience. And this is about trading like a pro. Here's the part that matters most. Okay, guys? We're going to look at this from a top-down approach, looking at the 15-minute. And today, I'm actually going to be throwing in a 4-minute time frame as well, just to kind of drum it down a little bit by 1 minute and see how that compares to our 5-minute as well, okay? I normally don't like to trade on the first bar of the open, so I'm gonna let this bad boy run until we actually get clarity with what's happening here with CYMO, okay? Even though you have a crossing above the line here and it's telling you it's gonna go up, we still don't have CYMO on the 15-minute above the 0 line. And for me, that's really important because this really tells me the directional strength of the move. If the cycle component of structure is above the 0 line, this is telling you that, yes, this bad boy is going to move, okay? Likewise, momentum is all the way down here. You never, ever take a long trade when momentum is below the green line. You just don't. And that's just not good practice. So we're going to let this bad boy run. And once we see both cycle and momentum rise, then we'll decide which way to take the trade, okay? So we're going to go ahead and look at that on the 1 minute, because if I just keep this on the 15-minute at 3 times the speed of the market, it'll take a while for it to turn. So we'll just go ahead and bring it here, okay? And at least we can see some movement right here. All right, there is your bar, guys, okay? And this is exactly, let me just go ahead. I'll just let it run. This is exactly what we want to see right here. We want to see confirmation that cycle and momentum are both going up. You've got Moby that is going up. You've got cycle and momentum now confirmed that they're going up. So our bias now at this time is established, okay? Right there. Now that we have our bias to the upside established, we want to confirm the directional move of the trade, okay, with our lower time frame charts, whether it's a 5-minute chart right here or whether it's a 4-minute chart right there. Okay, that's what we want to use to confirm. Now let's go ahead and look at this, okay? I'll show you the difference. On the 5-minute chart, guys, your directional rotation just crossed below the 0 line. Remember, the 15-minute is your higher time frame bias. This is the direction that the market is headed, okay? But you're going to have oscillations within those 15-minute candles, and those oscillations can be picked up on the microstate here on the 5-minute time frame. Now, if you want to speed it up a little bit, that's why you have a 4-minute right there to try to get you in maybe one bar sooner. So right here, what is this telling you with cycle and momentum? This is telling you guys that the cyclic component of price, the rotation to the upside, this was a nice little cycle right there. You see the sine wave formation going up? That just ended right there. So even though our higher time frame is telling us, yes, the market is going to continue going up, your lower time frame is telling you not until it turns around this way, okay? So this here is telling you that the market is probably going to pause before it resumes its upward momentum, and you got to be careful with that. And that's the reason why we've got either a 5-minute, you can use a 4-minute. This is how the 4-minute looks right here, guys, to time your entry with Moby on the 1 minute, okay? This is giving you the microstructure of what's happening. Look at this, guys. You had a nice clean cycle to the upside. The moment it crossed right here with momentum, that was the end of it right there at that bar. Then everything just sort of stalled right there. And let me tell you, nothing is going to happen to the upside until you actually get cycle coming back up this way. So if you tune up over to the 1 minute and you start seeing rotation to the upside the way you are right here, this is not to get excited and say, hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and take this to the upside because Moby just crossed over the blue line. Okay, no. That would be a mistake to do, okay? You want to take the swing right when the slightly higher time frame is giving you the directional conviction right here, the cyclic swing in price. Remember, guys, at the settings that you have here of 12 on the 4-minute on the 5 or 12 on the 4, you're capturing the longer waveform in price, okay? From here all the way here. And if you're going to do that, you want to capture the long waveform in price here before you actually execute it over here. And that's exactly what we're going to look at today, okay? So until we actually get directional conviction from our structure tool, from CYMO, coming back up this way, we are not going to execute anything. All right, so we're going to let this bad boy just kind of bounce around right here for a little bit until we actually see cycle coming up this way. And once it comes up this way, then we will go ahead and execute on the 1 minute time frame. Cycle and momentum are still down here. We at least want these bad boys. Okay, right there, guys. Just went up right there. This is exactly
Order
where
filled.
we pull the trigger. Right there, okay? And you guys saw it. I just saw cycle cross above 0 right there, and we decided to pull the trigger, okay? Right there. This is what you're waiting for right there because you've got confirmation that price is still moving up on the 15 minutes. So we're only taking long trades. That's your entry right there. This also becomes a fair value gap, and it's off to the races. Does the system point the fair value gap? Yes, it does. It definitely does point it out. So when it prints the fair value gap, it actually prints it here and puts a little arrow on it so you can actually see it. It dynamically plots the arrow so you'll know exactly where the fair value gap began. Quick look at the 4 minute. It looks like your cycle component is about to end right there. Look at this. Okay, right there, guys. So let's see what happens here with Moby on the 1 minute. And as soon as I'm done, guys, with this recap, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
Order filled.
Not just now because I'm still in the process of just kind of going over everything with you guys right here. Okay, let me just actually go ahead and I'll let this go ahead and play. All right, so we're done with that one right there. And let me actually just take note because we've been doing this the last couple of times, and I think it's helpful to kind of see what type of moves we're really aiming to capture with this system, okay? We exited this at 382, okay? And we got into the trade at, I think it's 228 right there, okay? So that's a 154-point move in the market right there, guys, okay? I don't know about you, but that's a whale. Okay, in my book, that's a whale. 154-point move will make anybody's day, week, or even month. Okay, and these are the type of moves that Moby is designed to capture. Alrighty, we did get bar change right here, guys, and you actually do have a crossing below the zero line. It's a tiny little cross, but I could see it right here on my screen, okay? And you do have a crossing right here with Moby as well at the top. So Ethan was asking earlier, one of our viewers, he was asking, how do you know when to switch bias on the 15-minute chart? And this is how you do it, Ethan, if you're still around, if you're still watching, okay? You wait for Moby to cross just the way it did right there, okay? And you wait for CYMO, the cycle component right there, to cross the zero line. And you can't barely see the cross, but I could see it here full screen. It's right there. It barely made the touch. And that is it, guys. Your bias changes from being long to going short right there, okay? Doggone it. My arrows are so tiny, so gotta love Ninja Trader. Let's see. Yeah, right there. I'll just leave the arrow there because I think you guys get the point, right? And right there. So our bias is now to the short side. That's how we change bias on the 15-minute time frame. We were long when Moby was above the blue line and cycle was above zero. Now we are short because Moby is about to drop and we've got a little cyclic crossing right here at the zero marker, okay? So now that we know that we're gonna go short, we wanna look at our 4-minute time frame and get directional cue from here to actually take any short trades on the 1 minute. Okay, so what's our 1 minute doing? Our 1 minute is just bouncing around right here. And I'm just curious to know if anybody caught any portion of this move today in the market. The market got really kind of choppy, guys, afterwards. You know, it kind of seemed like the market was going to have, some good gas in it going up in the morning, but it ran out of gas right here. Retrace, and then it popped right here. Nice little move to the upside, and this is the 154-point move that we caught from 228 to 382, and then the market has been going sideways right here. So there was a gentleman here earlier who says, how does this do in a sideways market? Well, this is your sideways market right here. The market is moving sideways, and we're not trading it. We're waiting for the right move to print, and then we execute the harpoon. Until then, we sit on our hands and we wait for the opportunity to unfold, guys. Now, can anybody in the comment box tell me what type of move is CYMO printing right here? Okay, what type of move is this right here, guys? Okay, drop it in the comment box. It's a pivot. Exactly. It's a pivot. Exactly. All right, guys. Oh, man. Woohoo! Yeah. It's a pivot trade, and you guys have been paying attention. That's exactly what it is. It's a pivot trade, and pivot trades are what? Okay, pivot trades are short-lived. Remember? Okay, anytime you see a pivot trade, guys, congrats to everyone who answered that correctly. That it really makes me happy to hear that, because you guys are paying attention. It is a pivot trade. Why? Because momentum came down and pivoted up. And we know from studying CYMO countless times, guys, that pivot trades are what? Okay? I've said it 100 times. Fill in the blank. Pivot trades are what? Okay? Just drop it in the comment box. Fill in the blank. Pivot trades are what? Short-lived. That's right. Silent noise. Pivot trades are very short-lived moves in the market. That's right, Yoon. That's right, Brown Bee. They are very short-lived in the market. So here we go, guys. You got a pivot trade right here that just went up, and now this is the end of the pivot trade right here. What could we expect to happen at the end of a pivot trade? Right there. Oh, man. Listen, if your bias is to the downside, now you've got a nice clear crossing right there, okay? You've got cycle coming down, so this is 100% gonna come down, guys, okay? That's right. You're gonna go short. That's right, Mr. Alabama. You're going short on this bad boy right here, guys. And so if you're going to go short on this, what do you need to go short? You know, you want to make sure that the cycle component of the move at least starts to move down right here. Okay, let's see how that's holding up right here. You already got a crossing right here. You got a fair value gap that's forming. Okay, and you know we've got we just want to make sure that this bad boy takes off and goes down. We got momentum coming down. I just want to see cycle come down a little bit before pulling the trigger on that trade. Well, let's see what happens on the 1 minute. You know what?
Order
I'm going to
filled.
jump on that because we got a nice fair value gap and this whole thing's going down. Let's just go ahead and go through with it. So you got a nice clean rotation right there. So, and momentum is coming down right there as well. So yeah, we'll go through with it. Why not? You're hitting the fair value gap that you saw earlier in the session over here, okay? And it's about to break through that fair value gap. In fact, it just broke through the fair value gap with the wick right there. Look at that. So this fair value gap was when it originally went up in price. Now price just came all the way back down, broke through the fair value gap, and it's continuing to go down. Looks like this is getting a little bit tight right here. So let me just get my finger on the buyback button right there. Okay, right there. You got the crossing. Let me just make sure we got a good crossing right there. Yep.
Order filled.
Okay, and that is it right there, guys.
Wow, did you see that? That's what you call precision.
And that's what real algorithmic trading looks like using the whale hunter system with our featured tool called Moby right here, guys. Okay. And just for kicks and grins, let's go ahead and add this up. We entered the trade at 367 right there, and we got out of it at 227. Okay, so that's 140-point move right there. I don't know about you guys, but that to me is the definition of a whale. All right, guys? Now, if you add it all together between the first trade and the second trade, the total came out to 294 points. 2 trades, and that's just the AM session alone. All right, guys? So, listen, let me cut the fluff. All right, guys, you know, if you're watching these recaps and still sitting on the sidelines, honestly, what are you waiting for? We're not guessing. We're not hoping. We're running a real system with real tools, and Moby is the heart of it. You've seen how clean it is. You've seen how powerful it is. You've seen the results traders are going to be getting with this, okay, once you actually start executing with this and start working this process into your own workflow. All right, guys? Your win rate ultimately depends on how well you execute the system, and if you're the type of person that knows how to follow instructions, okay, knows how to follow a systematic process. You know, if you're a nervous Nelly, if you're chasing after trades like a squirrel on caffeine, listen, do yourself the favor, don't even subscribe, okay? Because I don't want to hear your headaches, honestly. But if you're the type of person that wants to follow a methodical, systematic approach, then on December 23rd, this is going to drop for you right there, okay? Everyone else, sign up for the full bundle now. It's automatically yours when it drops on December 23rd. Or get ready to grab the Whale Hunter system as a standalone when we release. Either way, guys, stop watching and start working the process. You guys get a 7-day free trial. You get full system access. You get Discord support. You get 2 free one-on-one onboarding calls. That's the edge that you've been missing right here. And all you need to do is click the link in my bio, take the free trial, and lock in your seat before the 23rd.